Yo, what up? It's Read Your Mind. Welcome to part 1 of my Axial Yeti Score Trophy Truck kit build featuring MaxAmps, Castle Creations, Boom Racing, and Cow RC. That's up next on UrbanRcLA. I am so excited to get started building this kit. I have wanted one since I saw the Yeti Score Trophy truck come out. Now I have a kit. I've taken the time to research all the parts I need. I've got my Castle Creations SET Race Pro. I've got all my paint. I've got my 7.4 volt MaxAmps battery. I've got all the Boom Racing upgrades I could ever need, and now it's time to get started with the kit build. By the way, if you don't know exactly what parts I'm using, you can watch the previous video and you'll see all the parts that I'm going to be using, and I talk a little bit about how much money it costs and what you're going to need to build the kit. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead, go to the previous video in the series and you'll be able to see all of that. But for now, I'm just super stoked to get started, so we're going to dive right in. Let's do this. Okay. I like to always have a nice clean workspace, make sure I have all my upgrade parts where I can see them, the stuff, electronics I'm going to need for the build, the tools that are in my immediate vicinity are the ones I know I'm going to need the most. Ooh, this is going to be exciting. Let's cut open this bag. I also have a little trash can down here for all the extra baggies that I'm having to open for this kit. I just like to be really organized about it because, I don't know, I just feel like it makes it more fun to do. Wow, that's a big bag. Don't let your kids get this in the trash. I got some thread lock, some axle grease, looks like some servo tape, and another one of these. I have a million of these. Tire wrenches, a million of those. Looks like, if I had to guess, these are extra parts, but I'm just going to leave them right here for now. Here's the manual. Let's take a look. Looks pretty nice. Ooh, nice parts list. Very nice. It looks like that is page 1. Very good. Okay, and I actually work on my mat. I mean, on my instructions. I find it pretty easy. Oh, those stickers are killer. Oh, they're all like shiny. That's pretty dope. Ooh, more cool stickers. I love stickers. I'm a freak for stickers. Oh my gosh, look at all the stickers. Holy moly, that's great. And the cool color schemes that you can use. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't, I'll have to see. But I'm not going to need those for right now, so I'm going to set those to the side. But let's take a look. So it looks like we're going to start with bag A and plastic bag 1. Okay, so here's plastic bag A, so that's the one we're going to use. Now you'll notice in this kit build, there'll be times when I'll cut to being finished and maybe talk a little bit about what I learned or what problems I faced so that you don't have to face the same problems. Also, I might do some time lapse so that we can speed up the process because build series videos can get a little bit long if you don't keep it moving. But I'll do my best to kind of share with you my experience so you know what you're getting yourself into totally. So I'm just going to get started and see where I'm going with this. So this is where this kind of comes in handy, and the Cow RC Pro Mag pit mat, because I like to open all of the bags that I'm working with and separate the pieces into a little container so that way it's easy to get at and I don't have to, and I won't lose anything. So you can see how I go about doing this. I'm very methodical about the organization. Because, you know, sometimes you have to get up and go do something, or you have to go to bed or whatever, you wake up the next morning, and you don't want to just have pieces laying around everywhere, because then you're like, where was that? So I always try to stay as organized as I possibly can. Okay, on the front one, I did get the C-clamp on there. It was very loose, so I actually had to squeeze it tight like that. Now, actually, when I was doing this, what I did is I actually had to use like a scalpel, and I held it down in there and lined it up, and then I used my blade to get it in line, and then the needle nose pliers to clip it on there. It was like doing heart surgery. Yeah. So this stuff is just literally just like a nice little coating of it, and you can see here it shows you that you need to fill it up to about the edge there. So that should hopefully take care of that rubbing. nice and coated. We get about halfway there. Now I'm gonna spin it around. Make it nice and gooey. Get it all nice and in there. Fill it up a little bit more. Get it nice and gooey. A lot of little air bubbles in there. I'm going to try to work all those out. Fill that all the way up. There we go. That all in there. Get all those air bubbles out. Okay. That looks pretty full. Now I need a napkin. Okay, so now we're in bag A, plastic bag 1, which I haven't opened yet, but I will. One more screw, nice and tight, right here. And there you have it. So this is just box 1, page 1. Actually, it's page 11. Okay, so there you have it, the first piece. Now I'm just going to make sure these are all equally tightened, just to make sure nothing leaks out, no fluid leaks out. Take your time with these pieces. Now you can see it's kind of a tight fit, but it feels real smooth. I can feel a little jitter in there, but barely any. I think it's going to be just fine. Feels pretty good. So there's piece number 1, box number 1. Now as I go along here, I'm checking to see that any of the parts that I'm needing here, if I have the upgrade part from Boom Racing, just to make sure. Because I've done that before where you like totally can't get it together and then you're like, oh, I have that piece. Just a nice little dollop will do. Not too much, you don't want to over grease, but cover the whole thing. I use my finger, kind of working around in there. Get some good grease in there. Not too much, but a little bit in every little groove. You can actually over grease this, so if anybody has any comments about how much grease to actually use, go ahead and put it in the comment section below. I think I may be using a little bit too much. Is that too much? Or is that too little? Let me know in the comment section. Nice and greasy. Ew. Alright. Drop that down in there. Well, there you have it. That is page 1. So now we're going to flip over to page 2. Well, actually, this is page 11. Now we're going over to page 12. And of course, the first step here is to grease the wheel, just like it says here. And then install the front clip. Now I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna do a little bit more because it's really super dusty here in Los Angeles. And I don't want to get any dust in there. Get it binding up. So I think we're good. There we go. Okay. Now we have the cover, which goes on like so. Very nice. Looks like just a couple of screws. Again, I'm going to make sure it's nice, it's evenly tightened on both sides. Since it's going into plastic, I don't want to over tighten because I don't want to strip out the plastic housing. But there you go. Okay, next up is the flat support. It actually says option parts here, so I'm going to get those option parts ready and we're going to get back to work. Okay, I can see in here the option parts for this part of the build. So these are the two option parts that I have. This is the Axial Yeti aluminum shock tower and the aluminum front body mount base. Crack those open. Again, having a garbage nearby is very handy. So these are the option part screws, so I'm going to put them separate from the rest. Not sure if it makes a difference, but that's how I roll. Okay. Those look sick. Alright. Alright, now. So with a little bit of thread locker on there, I know I'm not likely to have them come apart. Make it nice and tight. Okay. Then I just need to grab the body posts and I need to grab the front bumper mount. So I'm going to do that real quick. So now I have the aluminum front bumper mount from Boom Racing. Again, just another fancy schmancy little piece to put on here. So make sure this goes on correctly. And it looks like it goes facing downward. So the wedge is on, the small wedge is on the bottom. So I am going to use, those are the ones. Looks like it's going to have to be these ones. Pretty simple to figure out. Any idiot can figure it out. It mounts right directly to the actual plastic casing here. Of course, I didn't notice that because the arrows on the instructions don't show to go through these holes and into these holes here. This is really poorly printed, so I couldn't see that it goes directly into this actual gear housing. So there you have it, there's that piece. And all you've got to do is add in this piece. Now the instructions say to leave 2 holes here, and it actually has an exclamation point. But I learned from watching another build series that you want to do it at the second hole, because the body, the whole vehicle droops in the back. So if you want it to have a more aggressive look, you go a little bit lower on the front. So that's what I'm going to do. Use that advice. There we go. Get that in there, just so it doesn't come out. Now I'm not going to use thread locker on this because I might want to adjust it later, but I can definitely feel that this might be a place where you would have some issues with it unscrewing itself. So there you have it. There's page 11 and 12, all complete. Everything seems nice and smooth. And now we're going to get on to the next, which is the rear axle, which means I get to use this. There you have it. So if you like the video series so far, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, go ahead and put them in the comment section below. As always, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. And check out the next video in the series as we move on and tackle the rear axle housing. Anyways, I'm Read Your Mind, this is UrbanRcLA, and I am out of here.